Greetings all, Zach again. Today is going to be something really different. We're going to talk about how to make fake antique thumb rings. So what I got here is unfinished, differently shaped thumb ring. I modeled it after some founds in Serbia, and there are not many on the market, so we're gonna go from there. So first thing we're gonna discuss is how to do it, how to make fake patina and all of that. And then on the second part of the video we're gonna discuss how to sell it, whom to sell it, and how to market it. So before I rub too much grease from my fingers, let's get on it. So, first things first, it shouldn't be way too shiny. So we use this sort of buffing wheels. They're abrasive. They come in different grits, and you should make smooth but not way too shiny. So after that, we're gonna use oxidizer. It's right here. And we're gonna make black patina because that's what I use. I don't do this for a living. So, right here, and we're gonna dip it in. I don't know how well you can see, but it's turning black fairly quickly. And we're gonna leave it at that. And as you can see, turned out pretty dark. But the thing is, if it's way too black, people won't fall for it. So we're gonna rub a little bit off. There's two ways to do this. One is to put it in distilled water. Another one is to make it, let's say, this kind of brown. So at this point, it does look like it's antique. I did a sloppy job, but that's just fine. At this point, these light bulbs come into play. So I'm gonna change the light bulb from one that I can see to the one that I use for heating stuff. Halogen light bulbs create a lot of temperature, but not too much light. So here we go. At this point, we're gonna use Renaissance wax polish. Everybody uses this. So, depending how much you want, you can put a lot, you can put a little. Has a smell to it, and whoever handled any antiques will recognize the smell because it's used for last couple 100 years, I would say. I'm gonna put a lot of it, waiting for the light bulb to heat up. I noticed that all coin collectors use the same wax. Everybody uses this wax. At this point, we're gonna heat it up. It will take half an hour or so for this to melt in, and we're gonna leave the light bulb some 10-15 centimeters or 4 to 6 inches, since my lamp doesn't want to stay the way I want it. I don't want to change the setup. All I do is put my car keys on top of it. Now it's easier to control. So it's much closer, and we're gonna wait for it some half an hour or so to bake in. Okay. Second part of the video will be about how to market and sell your fake antiques. So by now ring turned out beautifully. I showed it to a couple of guys and they all made mistakes. Some of them, they saw power tool marks, which were actually my fingerprints, but we all make mistakes. We all got our share of mistakes. So anyway, let's say we're gonna sell this thumb ring on eBay. There's two options. One is you're gonna offer it as a metal detector find somewhere in Central Anatolia, Britain, Sarmatians, you name it. And that's just fine. Other than with that kind of story, you can get like 60 to 100 bucks. And I sell my brand new thumb rings for that kind of money. So why extra effort? So in this case, we're gonna come up with a fake story. We're gonna target a certain group of people in order to make a sale. So our group of people will be guys of 35 to 55 who live in Europe, and we're gonna target them. So that's gonna be first approach. I'm planning to do more videos of this if there's some traction. So let's say we're gonna target guys in Europe, age group, like I said, and we're gonna offer it on eBay. So usually when you buy things, you would get bill of sale or receipt. So in order to make a fake story, we're gonna pretend that we bought this ring in 1987 for some reason. Well, there's a lot of reasons. If I bought this ring in 2007 or 2017, chances are those are fakes. If it's bought before, then chances are that nobody knew what it is and didn't quote it properly. So we're gonna use, we're not gonna do it. One of these. This is basically invoice book. It says right here, invoice. I know my camera is backwards, but that's how it works. So we're gonna make a fake, either pawn shop, jewelry store, antique shop. There's one across the street that sits there for a while. If somebody decides to check it, which usually nobody ever does, they can check that store is there for years, and that could be. Even though guys selling mostly fake German helmets and stuff like that, mostly Canadian military, Roman coins and whatnot. So we're gonna use this as a proof. We're gonna make on eBay 12 pictures. Some of them, they will be on a bill of sale that proves that a ring was purchased. That makes it older right there. Another thing is, since we're targeting middle-aged guys in Europe, we're gonna start and end action on Friday around 7 p.m. or 19 European time. Reason for that is those guys, they will come from work, stop by the beer store, get a couple of beers, put a couple of beers into themselves, and then check how is that ring doing. And that is very common trap. I have experience with my buddy Laiko. He would always fall for it. And then we would set up the trap for the next sucker next Friday or so. And the way it works is you come from work, got a couple of beers, blah, blah, blah. And, oh, let me see, how is this ring doing? Oh boy, uh, we're gonna set up target $250. Reasonable, because I got guys to pay. And those guys, we call them boosters. They will be my wingmen when I present all that fake story. They will pretend that they're bidding on that object. And the first two of them will do the bidding war to get it to maybe 150. Then they're gonna put the brake on it and wait to see if there's suckers that will bite. Good. If somebody bites, then they will try to outbid him to push him to that $250 target. Usually one booster is enough if you find a sucker. But if you don't find a sucker, you need two boosters. Maybe sucker will fall for it because, like, oh my God, if so many guys like it, then I can be wrong. Another thing is add free shipping to it. People tend to fall for that. Me, myself, all the time when I'm buying something, I always look for free shipping, even though they include it in a price. Nobody is that stupid, but here we are. Return policy is no returns. Lovely. And you hope that will slide through. The other option is my favorite one, is let's scam the scammer. So most of the guys that are selling fake antiques, they're as greedy as the guy who makes them. And there's a community and everybody knows everybody. But sometimes you can fake them. Let's pretend I'm a widow of just deceased husband who had antique collection and some bell buckles, arrowheads, spurs, stirrups, God knows what not. Small stuff, but nothing of any importance. And there's like a couple of thumb rings with a bill of sale. Those are good, because these guys, like all of us, can be greedy. So at this point, you send them fake email from fake address. You use it only for these purposes. And my husband, blah, 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 died. I have this collection. I don't know if it's any worth. This is how much he paid for it. And I would like at least to get, what we invested into it, and usually people are going to fall for that. $250, what can go wrong? There's like so much good stuff. You can offer it to eBay guys, yeah and no, but the guys who have websites and antique shops. Or you can go to, there's a 101 Antiques in Toronto. Old guy, very knowledgeable guy, but he can be tricked as well. Anybody can be tricked. I mean, look at our politicians. Greed, and everybody will fall for it. So, before you buy anything, shop with the confidence from Nomadic Arts Archery. I'll see you on the next one.